Welcome to another weekly market update. It is Sunday, 4th of August, after the market closed on 2nd of August. Here's where we look at the big picture and the smaller picture. The big picture so we can align basically our entire life accordingly, because the stock market affects so many things, from the real economy to housing prices to just about everything. And it's also an early warning sign actually for any recession that might be coming down the road or anything at all. So it's very important that you know at least what the big picture is, so you can as I say, be aligned accordingly. Short term is for we're more like trading, and we want to have the winds in our sails, but going the right way for the short term trend of the overall market, because that affects your individual trades more than you realize. So here's where we look at the big picture now. The weekly chart, this goes back to sort of 2014, sort of right the way through to the current day. And we've got these little dots up here. This is the week-to-week action, and the average of those actions is this blue line here, which is the 40-week average, and the 70-week average, the red line, which kind of smooths the action out a bit for us, so we can get kind of clearer idea behind the zigzags. And what we see behind all those zigzags is a very, very peppy, vertical, pointing, moving average on both of them, the 40-week and the 70-week. And this has been a bull market that my system called way back at the end of last year, and I've been commentating ever since that we're in a bull market and the trend is up. And I was right to do that, as it turns out, because 8 months later, even more than that, here we still are, pointed skyward. As I said, I've been getting increasingly nervous though, because we haven't at least had a decent correction back to the 40-week for quite some time now, and this market just keeps on getting higher and higher and higher. But we go with the trend, we don't fight it. That certainly doesn't mean I'm going to short that market, actually quite the opposite. We've been enjoying a lot of good trades. My members have, who watch me on the other video, individual trades, going way back, enjoying all these profits, not the opposite. So the big picture then, it's very clear we are in a bull market, and there's no reason for me to suggest that we're not in a bull market. In fact, there's not even much reason to say that we're going to have a correction anytime soon, even though I keep expecting it. So the big picture is up, bull market. Short term, still not seeing much of a turnaround. Here's the daily chart, zooms in on the last 6 months of action, and there's there's that. I mean, I can draw it actually. Let's draw that, because this might become more relevant as the weeks tick on, because if it breaks through this channel, that could be a sign, that rougher, so a bit of turbulence is coming. And actually you can go way back with this. It's something like that. You can see, this is the kind of upwards trend, and if you wanted to do a top one, you could, something like this, and it's just bouncing around in that channel. So as I've been indicating, if this breaks below that line, kind of gets significantly below its 50-day average there, the red line, then the correction will be underway. If it breaks below the other line here, it's kind of the second line here, the 200-day or the 40-week on the other chart, then that could be something more than just a simple correction. So something else I like to look at, by the way, there's no indication here that there's any evidence at all this thing's gonna turn around yet. It's still just chugging away, flying ahead. One thing I like to look at sometimes is this chart called the dollar sign up here, SPXA50R. This is actually a trading system that I explain to my members only. If the criteria is met, which basically is the extremes, when to get in and out of exploiting the extreme. This is kind of like an elastic band that the stock market oscillates between being overbought and underbought, and we haven't really had any extreme situations yet where there's too many stocks have got above their averages, or too few stocks have got above their averages. We've been bouncing around in this channel here just lately here, no extremes being met. Not even on this down here when we had these two peaks here would I say that was something worth looking at. So there's no imminent threat there of an extremely overbought condition either. I'd have to go way back to 2016 to say the sort of things I'm talking about. Well, no, actually, even maybe around here, 31st of October, which was when this bull market started, actually, that was my system on 2 counts, 2 different systems I teach, telling you to get in here. This was quite a oversold situation back in October, and it's been rising up ever since. So that was a good trade on 2 counts there, my systems of teach. In a nutshell then, I hate to sound like a stuck record, but surely big picture trend is up, short-term picture is up, and I will speak to you next time.